Hey everybody, this is Shaine Mata. Last night I wrote a blog post about the self-licking ice cream, which is an entity that exists solely for the purpose of perpetuating itself. So if you can imagine an ice cream eating itself, basically it's becoming more ice cream, so it just continuously goes in a loop, right? And a lot of social media figures are like that. We talk about social media, and I'm one of them. I mean, talk about social media, this and that, social media this, social media that, and it basically it sort of self-perpetuates because we use the tools that we're talking about, but we use the tools to talk about the tools themselves, which is this vicious circle. And it's kind of nuts in a way, but thanks to Dan Mosqueda for pointing out the self-licking ice cream cone years back. It just kind of clicked, and recently, so I've been trying to think of different ways of teaching people how to create content or how to get into social media without being so much involved in that whole vicious circle about social media. So I started thinking back to how I learned a lot of these things, and it came down to basically creating content. So I had a blog, or actually I didn't have a blog. I wanted to write things or get to talk to people or tell people about where I lived. So I started a blog, started writing about local stuff, and before I knew it, I had an audience. And then blogging wasn't enough anymore. I wanted to go do podcasts, so I'd go to political debates, I recorded them and put them online. And then I wanted to do my own recordings, my own shows, so I learned how to do audio recording and editing and where to host the audio and all these different things. And then, of course, from audio you naturally move into video because it's just a little step more, right? So that's how I got started. And so I'm thinking that creating the content created the need for me to learn these other tools that were out there to use to distribute content, video, audio, blog posts, whatever, and to get an audience for what I've created. So I'm thinking that that's probably a good way to approach teaching social media is not teaching the tools themselves directly, but teaching people how to create content, and then once you have that need, that urgency, that pressing need to get an audience, then that's where you start to figure out how to bring in the audience and then how to plug things in. And then it gives you something real to work with, because a lot of times with the workshops what ends up happening is that we give you a lot of theory and then you go off and try to do these things on your own. And I think if we do it the other way around, is if we help you create the content, then the tools that you have that are out there, basically they become just extensions of your work, and your work is the important thing, is your content is the important thing. It's not the Facebook, it's not the Twitter, or just being online all day. That's not the valuable part. The valuable part is that information that you have that you want to disseminate or share with everybody, so that way they know who to turn to as a trusted source of information or knowledge or whatever it is that you do. So as I wrote in the blog post, just keep watching, and I think what I'm going to be doing is trying to figure out ways to help you come up with ideas for generating content for your business or nonprofit or whatever other agency you work with. So that's it. That's all I've got. Thanks for listening.